Welcome to the Gross Things of Earth, where I talk about gross things from around the world, over footage of retro video games. You may learn something from this video, or it might just make you sick. Either way, I'm glad that you're here. Today, we will be taking a look at the disgusting phenomenon known as gutter oil. Imagine you're scrolling through your social media platform of choice and you suddenly stumble across a video that shows grainy security footage of an unknown individual taking a drain cover out of the ground in order to siphon the disgusting fluids from below the surface, only to then take their strange hole out of view before the video ends. While this might seem strange, it's not particularly interesting if you don't know the story behind it, but over the last few years, many videos depicting very similar bizarre actions have begun to circulate online. These videos are the point in which the gutter oil phenomenon was exposed to the masses on social media. Originating in China, this disgusting and dystopian food practice has become increasingly more well known to the outside world, that being the practice of recycling cooking oil, widely known as gutter oil, sewer oil, or tainted oil. The act involves siphoning used and contaminated cooking oil from bins, grease traps, and sewers to be reused far past its healthy used-by date. And despite being heavily outlawed, it's a phenomenon that still continues prominently to this day, with increasing numbers of videos of the act being posted to social media and going viral. So why would this abhorrent practice be so prominent? And what has caused it to begin with? Well, the facts behind it show the saddening reality of living in such a massive, overcrowded market. As we all know, China is home to a gargantuan population of citizens. Because of this, food and hospitality is one of the largest, if not the largest sectors of business. For every billion-dollar franchise and upmarket eatery, there are thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, of small family-owned diners and street vendors trying to take a small cut of that market. The work life for these small businesses can be grueling, with many of them putting in 7-day work weeks where it is not uncommon to work for very long hours without a break, only to do it all over again the next day. And this is where the tainted oil comes in. The first and most predominant reason for why tainted oil is so hard to avoid can be boiled down to simply how cheap it can be to eat in China. Many tourists who have travelled to China have been shocked at how cheap the food is, with many places serving very respectable portions for an incredibly affordable price. This is great for the customer, but for the businesses who provide these services, this makes it incredibly hard to make a profit, when they have to not only keep their businesses afloat, but also constantly buy produce and ingredients for the many people that come by and buy from them. And amongst all the ingredients that Chinese eateries need to keep a massive stock of, cooking oil tops that list due to the abundance of fried food that exists in Chinese cuisine. Frying in oil is the most popular way of cooking in China, with many of the region's defining dishes requiring this cooking practice. Because of this, the market of cooking oil in China is worth around $250 billion US. Due to how essential oil is in this market, tainted oil is often seen as a valuable alternative due to the fact that the return that these businesses see from selling their food is so little. If that wasn't bad enough, sometimes it's impossible to know if it's even being used at all. Gutter oil plants have also become a major issue alongside the rise of this epidemic. Underground operations that buy acquired oil from crews that are sent out to collect it, only to then filter and boil it in order to sell it again as new, for a cheap and affordable price. These plants are able to create a product that looks almost indistinguishable from the real thing, but they are by no means making it any healthier to consume. Of course, the idea of ingesting food that has been cooked using oil from a bin, a grease trap, or a sewer is horrid, and would make even the most adventurous of eaters wince in disgust. The health issues that are caused by this are obvious. Eating bad or outdated oil on its own can cause things like heartburn, stomach pains, diarrhea, and nausea. And that's just when it's old. When you throw in things like the germs, antioxidants, and chemicals that gutter oil and its many other forms come into contact with in the mix, you get life-threatening results. Cancer, intestinal blockages, and insomnia are just some of the potentially life-threatening issues that may affect someone that consumes large amounts of tainted oil. The truly terrible issue with this whole phenomenon, and the reason that gutter oil will most likely never disappear, is because this has been going on for so long now that the issue truly has gotten out of control. So much tainted oil has found its way out into China that it will likely be used repeatedly. Many Chinese citizens could have potentially eaten food that was cooked in oil that is many years old multiple times, not to mention the fact that the adverse health risks of eating food cooked in this manner are slow acting, usually only ever becoming obvious after years of consumption when it's far too late. This issue is so bad that it's been reported many Chinese citizens provide their eateries with oil that they buy themselves in order to avoid risk of using the kitchen's potentially deadly oils. This was the Gross Things of Earth. I've been Mechabroski, and I'll see you next time. I'm missing you already.